Well, I don't want to come off the bench is not a personal issue. Well, I don't like my role.
Dewanna Bonner, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split ya. What's it? See ya, wouldn't want to be.
Dewanna Bonner. More like Dana Goner. That's right, folks. The WNBA just witnessed one of the most immature and self-centered acts of unprofessionalism in recent memory. The so-called veteran who was expected to be a guiding force for the Indiana Fever's rise has officially quit and gone home sulking because she couldn't handle being part of a team that actually counts.
Hey, veteran Dewanna Bonner, the team announced. Indiana looked at trade possibilities for the six-time All-Star who had not played since June 10th for what the team called, quote, personal reasons. Well, the personal reasons were, from what I could tell, playing time is what
This is the story of a player who thought she was stepping into a cozy retirement gig where she could coast by, cash easy checks, and soak up the spotlight built by someone else. But what she didn't expect was that real basketball, true competitive basketball, demands grit, effort, and a battle to earn your place every single night.
Dewanna Bonner out with the old. McDonald, welcome back in with the new breaking. The Fever are waving. Dewanna Bonner, league sources told the Indy Star, then re-signing McDonald. Bonner requested a trade after feeling she couldn't find a role on the team after getting benched, along with a bevy of other reasons as we covered yesterday. But Indiana could not find a suitable trade.
When Dana Bonner signed with the Indiana Fever back in February, she believed she was joining a quiet, low-pressure franchise where she could ease into a starting spot and coast through another season. But what she walked into was something entirely different. A team completely transformed by Caitlin Clark into the most watched, most talked about, and most fiercely competitive environment in the entire WNBA.
Dewanna Bonner signs a free agent contract with the Indiana Fever. And after a handful of games, wants a Fever exit, apparently. And that is a strange situation, right? Because she was embraced. She had her achievement at the beginning of the season, moving up the scoring ranks. They were referring to her as Mama Bear in training camp, and now all of a sudden that has fallen apart. She was out of the starting lineup, hadn't really produced that much, particularly on the offensive end. And this, looks poor on the franchise when it comes to the free agent moves in retrospect, the team that they put together in the offseason. I don't think it reflects well on Dewanna Bonner, whose absence was for quote-unquote personal reasons, but now it seems like she was just upset with the team and the situation overall, and it adds more drama to what has been a drama-filled season for Caitlin Clark.
The writing was on the wall from day one, but Bonner was too blinded by her own ego to see it. She started the first 3 games of the season averaging a staggering 2.6 points while shooting a miserable 2 of 12 from the field. 2 out of 12, that's not veteran leadership, that's veteran decline.
Her minutes had significantly dropped from last year. Well, in turn, if her minutes drop, a lot of her production numbers that she can see and the rest of the league can see also dropped with it. Look, she's just like Natasha Howard. She looks old on the court. All right, not trying to be this is not ageism. She looks like an older athlete. All right, she looks slower on the court, and the team has been lacking energy. It's been a serious problem. Seriously, long overdue. Let her go to the place where she feels she would be the...
So what did Coach Stephanie White do? She made the only logical move any competent coach would. She benched Bonner and gave the spot to Lexi Hull, a player who actually showed hunger, hustle, and a genuine desire to contribute to winning basketball.
Couldn't fit with the rotations of the team. She's upset that Lexi Hull took her spot. That's the truth. Little blonde girl from next door took her spot. That's what it was. Well, Lexi Hull is a good basketball player. I think she earned that spot, in my opinion, and she's shooting very well from the 3. She's an excellent three-point shooter this season. She's a sniper this season. And she hustles. She gets rebounds. She gets steals. She puts her heart out every single.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. Now, how did our so-called veteran leader respond to this entirely reasonable coaching decision? Like a spoiled child who just had her favorite toy taken away. Instead of rising to the occasion, working harder, and proving she deserved her spot back, Bonner took the easy way out. She requested a trade, claiming the fit didn't work out, which in basketball terms means I can't handle not being the center of attention. But it gets even more pathetic. Bonner didn't just quietly ask for a trade, she flat out abandoned her team. She stopped showing up to games, citing personal reasons, and left her teammates hanging for 5 straight contests while she sulked about her diminished role. Personal reasons? Let's be real, the only personal issue here is that her ego couldn't handle the truth. She might not be good enough to start on a championship caliber team.
Bonner, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split ya. Listen, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, right? I'm not telling you gotta go home, but you gotta get up out of here. Dewanna Bonner out with the old. Aaron McDonald, welcome back in with the new breaking. The Fever are waving. Dewanna Bonner, league sources told the Indy Star, then re-signing Aaron McDonald. Bonner requested a trade after feeling she couldn't find a role on the team after getting benched, along with a bevy of other reasons as we covered yesterday. But Indiana could not find a suitable trade option.
This isn't just a question of basketball ability, it's a matter of character. And Dana Bonner's character was exposed as paper thin the moment she faced real adversity. She signed on to be a veteran leader for a young, rising team, but the second that team started attracting the kind of attention and pressure that comes with having a generational superstar like Caitlin Clark, she completely crumbled. She couldn't handle being on a team that was suddenly viral, relevant, and energized because deep down, she wanted to be the star herself. The jealousy is glaring, almost painful to watch. Here's a player who spent her whole career in relative obscurity, quietly winning championships on teams nobody paid attention to, and now she's thrown into the brightest spotlight in women's basketball, and she couldn't take the heat.
So the truth is, Dewanna Bonner was butthurt. That's what it comes down to. She was butthurt. Her ego was bruised, and she wanted to cry and leave. This is a shame. See, if you're truly a team player, you accept that Lexi Hull's better than you. You accept being a role player and contribute of the way you can. And why do you even care at this point? You're 37 years old. You're making a lot of money for a WNBA player. Why not just ride it out? I don't understand that. You know what it was? She missed her boo thing in Phoenix, and she just want to wiggle her way out so she can go to Phoenix. That's all it was.
Instead of embracing the chance to be part of something historic, she resented it. She resented the fact that 17,274 fans weren't showing up to see her. They were there for Caitlin Clark. She resented that every game was sold out, not because of her years in the league, but because of a 22-year-old rookie who has already done more for women's basketball than Bonner ever will. But let's not pretend Dana Bonner is the only one struggling with this shift. The real villain here is the pressure coming from the so-called old guard of the WNBA. This is a league where veterans have coasted for years, comfortable in their mediocrity, playing in half-empty arenas for crowds made up of family members and a few hardcore fans. Then along comes Caitlin Clark, selling out arenas, shattering TV ratings, and putting the WNBA on the map in a way it's never experienced. And instead of welcoming this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, many of these bitter veterans see it as a threat to their safe, quiet little bubble.
Get here. Long story short, DB thought her role was going to be one thing. She came in playing terrible, got benched, and was upset about it. Long story short, Shorty got her record and dipped. That's low-key crazy, y'all. Shorty dipped from the team for personal reasons for 5-6 games and then said she has no intentions on coming back? Because you sucked this year? She really had to be a double agent, dog. There's no way. She a career 29% three-point shooter, but she was shooting 30-footers with us. No bullshit. Like, it's no way. She was missing layups. She was getting blown by, like...
The old guard couldn't stand that someone so young, so talented, and so marketable was finally making their league relevant in a way it hadn't been for decades. They couldn't handle that all their years of paying dues suddenly meant little when a rookie walked in and instantly became the face of the sport. So they did what bitter, insecure people always do. They tried to tear down the one person making them look obsolete. And Dewanna Bonner, who should have been a bridge between the old and new eras of the WNBA, instead chose to align herself with the resentment. She acted like a child the moment she realized she might not get to start every game for the Indiana Fever, throwing a weeks-long tantrum that ended with her walking out on her team completely. This isn't some wide-eyed rookie. We're talking about a 37-year-old woman acting like a teenager who just got cut from varsity.
Anybody with any intuition could sort of see that this was getting odd. The amount of time that she had missed with no explanation as to why, no timeline on her return, not making the road trip, all of these things, the lack of information and the basic mystery would be enough to get anybody's spidey sense tingling about this situation. But on top of that, I'll tell you this much. I heard that it was more basketball related than anything else.
Now let's take a look at where our disgraced former Fever player is reportedly trying to land, because those destinations reveal everything about her character. She's allegedly pushing for a move to the Phoenix Mercury, the team where she spent the first decade of her career. In other words, she's running straight back to her comfort zone, a place where she can hide from the spotlight, the pressure, and the responsibility of actually mattering. Another potential destination? The Atlanta Dream, home to Brittany Griner, who famously hasn't been shy about her dislike for Caitlin Clark. Yes, we all saw that viral moment where Griner allegedly used a slur after fouling out against Clark. And these are the kinds of players Bonner wants to align herself with. Veterans who openly resent everything Caitlin Clark brings to the league. Instead of being part of a rising, transformative moment in women's basketball, Bonner is choosing to side with the most toxic elements of the WNBA.
And there's been so much speculation around her absence, but the whole thing was just kind of bizarre, and a lot of Fever fans were speculating that we're not going to see her back. And just today, it was announced that she has no intentions on returning to the Indiana Fever, and her preferred destinations are either Atlanta or the Phoenix Mercury. It's also been reported that the main reason that she wanted to leave is because things felt off from the beginning, and she thought that she would be a starter. But if you guys remember, DB was starting in the beginning of the season, and she honestly just wasn't playing her best. So Lexi Hall moved into that starting position.
And then she has the audacity to release a statement thanking the Indiana Fever, like she's some classy professional handling the situation with grace. Who does she think she is? That's like someone burning your house down and then thanking you for the matches. You don't get to walk out on your team, leave your teammates stranded, and then pretend you're taking the high road. But here's the beautiful irony in all of this. The Fever are actually better off without her. One less toxic presence, one less ego that couldn't handle the spotlight of playing for a team that finally matters. They've replaced her with someone who actually wants to be there, who values the opportunity, and who's ready to fight for the team, not against it.
Dewanna Bonner knew damn well she didn't want to come to Indiana. She knew she didn't want to be there. She knew she didn't want to be there. I think the fix was in. The Phoenix Mercury didn't have the bread to pay her. She said, I'm going to get the bag elsewhere, and then I'm going to force my way out to where within the first half of the season before All-Star, Alyssa Thomas, I'm going to be on your team. I think the fix has been in. I think the Phoenix Mercury knew this was going to happen. I think they knew this was going to happen. I think she played bad on purpose. She plummeted her stock to the point where it's not like we could trade her. It's official. It is official, y'all.
Enter McDonald, the complete opposite of Dewanna Bonner in every way that matters. When McDonald got her shot with the Fever on a hardship contract earlier this season, she didn't waste a second whining about her role or feeling sorry for herself. She came in hungry, averaging 11 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals in just 3 games, instantly winning fans over with her relentless hustle, tenacious defense, and contagious energy. She played like someone grateful for the opportunity, not someone who felt entitled to it. McDonald's story stands in perfect contrast to Bonner's embarrassing exit. Here's a player who was cut by the LA Sparks during training camp, left without a team, and could have easily walked away. Instead, she fought her way back and made it clear she wanted to be part of what the Fever were building. She wasn't there to cash checks. She was there to compete. McDonald's gritty, high-motor game struck a chord with a fan base desperate to see players who would actually fight with their superstar, not sulk and resent her success.
Bring McDonald back. That's good business. Glad she's back. I knew she was waiting after all those hardship contracts were being signed by different players on different teams. I was like, man, look, Ari not on a team yet. She's coming back.
Even better, McDonald instantly understood what it meant to wear a Fever jersey in the Caitlin Clark era. She didn't see Clark's rise as a threat. She saw it as an opportunity to be part of something bigger than herself. Although my time with the team was brief, it immediately felt like the place to be, McDonald said when she was re-signed. Now compare that to Bonner's cold, dismissive statement that the fit did not work out. One player is embracing the moment, the other is running from it. Fever COO and GM Amber Cox said it best. From the moment she arrived in Indy, Ari was a clear fit with the style and mentality we are building here with the Fever. Though only here a few games, her impact as a playmaker and a defender was evident. And that one phrase, style and mentality we are building, says it all. That's what Dewanna Bonner never got. The Fever aren't bending over backwards for players who can't take the heat. They're building a culture rooted in excellence, competition, and resilience. And only those who are truly ready for that stage get to stay.
Anyway, it was pretty evident that Bonner did not want to be a part of this team. The fans seemed to take her in, but that wasn't enough. The fact Bonner had zero trade value was telling too. Ari McDonald was so impressive in her first stint in Indiana. She'll be a great fit. Now, I do feel like maybe they couldn't find a way to trade Bonner. Like I stated, the two teams she wanted to go to, I didn't see any use for her being there, man. Like, I'm not being disrespectful. There was just no use for her there. And she still wasn't going to start. So, I don't know, man.
And then there's Natasha Howard, the other veteran who joined the Fever alongside Bonner. Her response to all of this has been quietly revealing. Yes, she posted a few cryptic messages on social media that could be read in different ways, but the most important thing she did was stay. She didn't walk out when things got tough. She didn't demand a trade just because her role wasn't exactly what she imagined. She stayed, she adjusted, and she kept fighting, because that's what professionals do. The contrast between Howard and Bonner couldn't be clearer. Both were brought in to offer veteran leadership, but only one actually delivered. Howard showed up, Bonner walked out. Some of these players would genuinely rather go back to playing in half-empty gyms, clinging to their comfortable mediocrity, than face the new standard of excellence that Caitlin Clark is ushering into the league. And in all of this, Dewanna Bonner has become the unfortunate poster child for that toxic, outdated mindset.
So Dewanna Bonner pulls one of the weakest moves in sports history and quits on the Indiana Fever, not even halfway through this season, man. Your ass couldn't hit the fucking side of a barn and was stinking it up every game, and you're mad about a starting spot or some bullshit? Completely lost all respect for your punk ass, man. And now your preferred destination is the Phoenix Mercury and the Dream. Oh, what? So you can go back with Alyssa Thomas and Scissor? What the fuck kind of bullshit is this? And then all the people that hate Caitlin Clark so much, the Black Clan and Black Clan panders, are sitting here supporting this weak ass move. Y'all call yourselves real so much and all this bullshit, and you're defending a player quitting.
The WNBA has spent decades fighting for relevance, battling for TV time, pleading for fan support, and struggling to grow its audience. Then along comes a player who single-handedly changes the game, solving all of those problems in real time. And instead of rallying behind her, certain players decide to tear her down. It's professional jealousy at its most pathetic. And Dewanna Bonner fell right into that trap. What makes it even more frustrating is that Bonner had every chance to be part of something historic. She could have been the veteran presence who helped guide a generational superstar to a championship. Instead, she chose ego over impact. The Fever's quick decision to replace her with Ari McDonald sends a crystal clear message to the rest of the league. If you can't handle the pressure of being part of greatness, step aside. There are plenty of hungry players who can. If you're not willing to fight for your role, someone else will. And if you're going to prioritize your personal feelings over team success, there's the door. So thank you.